10. Venice, Italy. Venice is located in the northeastern part of Italy, and is perhaps the most beautiful city in the world in 2014 year. This city is as beautiful as unique. The other. A little bit similar, there is no country in the world. He won a huge honor to be a World Heritage Site. Speaking of Venice, often uttered the phrase, City of Water, City of Masks, City of Bridges, and City Channel, and many others. According to the magazine, Times Magazine, Venice is considered one of the most romantic cities in Europe. Venice has a rich architectural heritage. Most often there is a Gothic style. It can be seen in most of the buildings in the city. Also, in the architectural. 9. Paris, France. Paris, the city of love and romance, is undoubtedly one of the best and most beautiful cities in the world. The most famous features, glorified. This beautiful city, Eiffel Tower and French cheese. Since Paris is the capital of France, it was and still is the center of all the important political events in the country, beginning with the French Revolution. France is famous mainly because of this amazing beautiful city. Gorgeous perfume and gourmet cuisine has its origins precisely in Paris. Paris should be a very interesting motto, fluctuat nec mergitur, which literally means to swim, but did not sink. 8. Prague, Czechoslovakia. Prague is not only the largest city in the Czech Republic, but also its capital. It is the 14th largest city in the European Union with an excellent architecture of the Renaissance. Renaissance was characterized by the search for new research and discoveries, so Prague is worth a visit because of its tremendous educational institutions. One of the most interesting facts is the age of Prague, 1,100 years. Just imagine the impressive historical heritage which is currently concentrated in this city. For this reason, Prague, on the right, is included in our list of top 10 most beautiful cities in the world. 7. Lisbon, Portugal. Lisbon is the capital of Portugal and the largest city of the country. Lisbon is twinned Pakistan Peshawar. The architecture of this city is extremely diverse, from the Romanesque and Gothic to Baroque and postmodernism. Lisbon, 11th most populous city in the European Union, has an important place in the world in the field of commerce, education, entertainment, media and the arts. The city is recognized as one of the world's oldest. This is an important fact for which the Lisbon, one of the most beautiful cities in the world, loved by many tourists. 6. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. In Brazil, you can hear the expression, God created the world in 6 days and on the seventh Rio. Rio de Janeiro, commonly referred to as Rio, is the second largest city in Brazil and the third largest metropolis in South America. Rio, one of the most visited and favorite locations in the southern hemisphere because of its natural environment and excellent beaches, such as Bossa Nova and Balneario. The city is world famous for two things, football and dance samba. Every year, in Rio de Janeiro, it held one of the most spectacular carnivals in the world. Moreover, Brazil, the host country of the World Cup in 2014, and in 2016 it will be the Olympic and Paralympic Games. Rio is a major cultural center of Brazil. The CIT, since 1999 hosts the International Film Festival. National Library of Brazil is considered the 8th largest library in the world and the largest library in the whole of Latin America. 5. Amsterdam, Netherlands. The name is derived from the Amsterdam, which means dam on the Amstel River. This city is not only one of the most beautiful cities in the world, but also one of the most important port cities. In the past, the city has actively conducted trade in diamonds. In July 2010, the channel, built in Amsterdam in the 17th century, were added to the UNESCO World Heritage List. Amsterdam has an oceanic climate due to its proximity to the sea and the prevailing westerly winds. Amsterdam is famous for its nightlife. It has a lot of establishments for all tastes, large or small, modern and comfortable. Every year there is a festival, which attracts artists from all over Europe. The oldest construction in Amsterdam is the Oude Kerk, Old Church, built in 1306. And the most ancient wooden building, Het Wouden Huis, built in 1425. It is also one of the two most well-preserved buildings in the city. Also, this beautiful city, guests can please their excellent cuisine. An interesting fact is that Amsterdam, the birthplace of donuts. 4. Florence, Italy. Florence, Italian town on the river Arno, the administrative center of the region of Tuscany. Florence was the richest financial and commercial center of medieval Europe. Dan Brown, in his book, Inferno, and stressed the importance of this feature of the city. Also, Florence, the birthplace of the Renaissance. With its magnificent architecture, the Renaissance and the rich culture, the city is considered one of the most beautiful cities in the world. In Florence there are many wonderful places that are of interest to tourists, art museums and galleries, including the Uffizi Gallery and the Pitti Palace, Basilica of San Lorenzo and the Medici Chapel, Cathedral. In addition, Florence is one of the legislators of Italian fashion. In the 16th century the city became the progenitor of the opera. Here lived such famous people as Giulio Caccini and Mike Francis. 3. Rome, Italy. You've seen the movie Gladiator. It has a replica of the hero, Maximus, facing the emperor, Marcus Aurelius. I saw a lot of land. They are dark and cruel. Rome brings them light. This phrase Maximus expressed hope for a great future for Rome, and this phrase fully reflects the essence of this city. The most famous emperor Julius Caesar is a city. Probably the vast majority of people, even a little familiar with the history and culture of Rome, knows the name. Rome, one of the most beautiful cities in the world. There are many monuments of architecture, of which many have heard and visited possible. Probably one of the most famous, the Colosseum. Also, two not less colorful and breathtaking architectural buildings include Trajan's Forum, the Pantheon, Raphael's tomb, temples and churches, baths, imperial palaces. If you have not been in Rome, make sure you try to visit it. It is truly a magnificent city, where you can relax and at the same time learn and see a lot of new and unusual. 2. Budapest, Hungary. Budapest is one of the largest cities in the European Union, as well as the Hungarian capital. Budapest, it is a political and cultural center of the country. The Hungarians settled the area in the 9th century, just after the Romans. There are many monumental buildings relating to World Heritage. One of Budapest's attractions, it Underground, which is the second oldest railway system in the world, and perhaps the strongest. Also the city is listed among the 25 most popular and beautiful cities in the world. It annually visited by 4.3 million tourists from different countries. In addition, Budapest is very popular sport. In it there are 7 professional football clubs. The city also hosted the Olympic Games, European and World Championships. 1. Bruges, Belgium. Bruges is located in the northwest part of Belgium, and is the biggest city in the province of West Flanders, and is also the center of this country. Bruges is sometimes called the Venice of the North, and at one time it was a major trading city in the world. One of the most significant features in Bruges, its medieval architecture. Most of the buildings perfectly preserved to this day. The entire historical center listed as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. Among the most attractive and popular buildings in Bruges include the masterpiece by Michelangelo, Church of the Virgin Mary. But that's not all. The most famous attraction of Bruges is the bell tower of the 13th century, in which there are 48 bells. It periodically held free concerts that are willing to visit, as the locals and tourists alike. It is a kind of tradition. The city has a museum, has interesting exhibits. Also, there are theaters, art galleries, theaters and concert halls regularly hosts music and food festivals. Bruges, it's an amazing place to visit people who love and appreciate art and culture.